Is $1,500 worth it to you if you want to have every Disney and Pixar movie on Blu-ray in one convenient set? Hello everyone, welcome to the iCritic YouTube channel. My name is Kevin T. Rodriguez, film critic of iCritic.net, and thank you for spending a few minutes of your time here with me today. Actually, more than a few minutes. This is going to be a fairly long video. Maybe not as long as the Jenny Nicholson Star Wars Hotel video, but this one's going to be a little longer than usual because of the in-depth discussion we are going to have. Last year, as of this recording, the Disney 100-year anniversary came and went, and many people admitted that it was probably one of the worst ways to celebrate a 100-year legacy of the company. There was almost no vintage content released on Disney Plus. The movie Wish was kind of a fart of a film, and of course there was the whole closing of that Star Wars hotel thing that was, supposed to take Disney theme park storytelling to a new level, and instead crashed and burned. Again, check out the Jenny Nicholson video. However, if there was one really nice thing that came out of the Disney 100-year anniversary celebration, it would be this, and I have to... it would be this. This is the Disney 100 Celebration Blu-ray set that was limited only to Walmart customers, and a few copies were made available to Disney Movie Club members before that shuttered. And this is heavy. Like, if you can't hold it, this is a really heavy thing. Now, this set was something that I think a lot of Disney fans wanted. It was going to be all the Disney full-length feature films. It was going to have all the Pixar films, 100 movies in total, for the convenient price of $1,499.99. It was also going to come with a pair of Mickey crystal ears. Now, before we begin this video, I'm going to say that I am fortunate enough, in fact, I'm going to say very, very fortunate enough, that I know someone who helped me get this set at a significant discount. This was... I don't want to say how much I paid exactly, and I really don't want to give away the person who helped me out because I don't think they were technically allowed to let me have this for what I got it for. But to say that I got this for somewhere between 60 to 75% off would be a generous estimate. Like, I got a huge, huge deal on this set, and I am very grateful to that person. And the only thing they asked me to do was to do a thorough review of this set, which is what I am going to be doing right now. Here's the thing, that is a pretty steep price. As you can see from this ad, it was going to have all the movies, the crystal ears, a certificate of authenticity, and a Wish lithograph. But here's the thing, the price wasn't too bad when you factored in that 100 divided by 1,500 essentially meant that the movies cost an average of $13 to $15 each, depending on what your tax is. So, considering most of these movies would cost $20 to $30 individually, that's not as bad in hindsight. So, kudos to Disney for making it actually fairly reasonably priced, all things considered. Of course, one of the problems with it being reasonably priced in that regard is most people have these movies, and is it worth getting rid of those discs to get the set? And can you even get rid of those sets? What does this come with and what does it not come with? Well, let's start with chapter 1, the visual discs themselves. Now, these are Blu-rays. These do not have 4Ks or 3D discs. So if you have any of these movies in 4K or 3D, you're not going to be able to get rid of those. These just have the Blu-rays. Now, if you do have just the Blu-rays, there are some discs you can probably get rid of and some you probably can't. Now, before we continue with what those are, we're going to be doing an unboxing. You'll see that it's already unboxed on this end. That's because I unboxed it earlier. filmed myself unboxing it, and it was going to be a video on my iCritic Media channel before I decided to expand the project into this much longer video you see here. So if you do not care for unboxings, you can skip to this point in the video and we will continue with the actual review. But for the time being, let's start with let's continue with chapter 2, the unboxing. So this is the box. As you can see, it's very big. This is what it looks like next to my dog Lilo. Say hi to everyone, Lilo. Hello. Yeah, people love that tilt. And we're gonna try to unbox it here. And oh, there's a lot of stuff here. So hold on one second, folks.
3 hours later.
All right, so here's the box. We're gonna start the unboxing package. I really have a hard time believing that this thing is this big, but you never know. So let's open this up. And okay, so first thing that you'll notice is this is definitely a Disney experience packaging. When you open it, they have characters from all the movies in the box. So that means hardcore Disney fans are probably not going to want to get rid of this box, although I think my wife will definitely encourage me to do so anyway. Let's open this. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Now, one thing that I will note is that over on here, I have something a little extra. This is definitely something that was being advertised, Disney Anime Film Legacy. And these, I believe, are the ears. The crystal ears. This is one of the things that definitely drove up the price for this thing. Disney 100 year. And you know what? I am going to put this right over here. I know you can't see it. I will show you a little later. I don't know what to do with the box though. Maybe someone on eBay would want the box. Let's take this out, and it's scary to see that it was pretty much as big as they were advertising it. And well, look at that. Look at that. If that's not a premium experience, then I don't know what is. So look at this Legacy box. You see you have the castle, Tinkerbell's here. We have the hidden Mickey and the fireworks, Disney 100. And it's interesting that that's, oh, my dog is already grabbing the styrofoam, of course. Now on the back, we have a list of Pixar movies. They don't show any of the Disney ones. I wonder if that's intentional. I don't know why Pixar gets single out. They highlight the PG rating, even though most of these Pixar movies are rated G on the top, and nothing on the bottom. This is the kind of thing that makes me not want to open it because it's so nice, but we're going to open it because this is not exist just to sit on the shelf. I intend to actually display this properly. So let's take, if you hear things moving in the background, that is Lilo the pug. So let's open it. There's a magnetic strip in there. I can definitely feel it. Okay, first we're going to take more styrofoam out. It's that beautiful. We have 3 volumes. Only 1, 2, 3 now. On the back here, let's see here, do we? Oh, okay. So, all right, first of all, there's the back. And this advertises the one-of-a-kind collection. Definitely want to save that somehow. I don't know how, but the back of the box, as you can see, looks very similar to the front. This can pull it. So obviously we want to start at number 1, or volume 1 as they say. Here it is, volume 1. Let's move this far back as we can. It really is heavy. And let us open, and obviously this begins the beginning. Now when you open it actually kind of creates like a little stand, so it's like a storybook that you can open, which is really neat. Now here are the discs. Now by necessity they're in these sleeves, but as you can see they're all kind of, you know, like I'm going to show you all of the discs so you can see what they look like. Oh, actually, here's something that I just noticed, so I don't have to do this. They're all labeled white, and they all have the year, and they all have a character. This character, whatever character you see here, is the character that's going to be on the disc. Oh, they're squeaking. The pug has got her toy. So we've got Snow White, Pinocchio, Fantasia, Bambi, Dumbo. Now, here's something interesting. Saludos Amigos is on here. Let's see if I can't take that out. It's on Blu-ray, not rated. Now, I'm going to look at these because Saludos Amigos was always like a double feature with like either Fun and Fancy Free or Make Mine Music. Let me double check that. But, well, I couldn't figure it out like without turning the phone off and everything, so I'll just put the cover to show what the three caballeros are toyed with. But I know Fun and Fancy Free would like pair with the Adventures of Ichabod, Mr. Toad. The fact that they're all on their individual things, I'm going to actually look and check to see if they're like the uncensored versions. I don't know if anyone's actually done that, but I'm going to be cautiously optimistic because they're on their own discs. And this is for the hardcore collector. I don't think parents are going to be buying this for their kids. This is for the Disney adults. By the way, I do like that Melody Time has like a little Donald Duck there. That's pretty cool. Then we have like Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, Lady and the Tramp, 101 Dalmatians, Sleeping Beauty. And we have The Jungle Book, Aristocats, Robin Hood. We have The Rescuers, Winnie the Pooh. I didn't realize that both of those were released the same year. Then you have The Fox and the Hound. By the way, this is why being a Disney fan was tough back then. 67, then you have to wait 3 years for another one to 1970. Then you had to wait another 3 years for 1973. So this year, Disney fans were spoiled. They got 2 in a year, but then you had to wait 4 years for The Fox and the Hound. And obviously, if you didn't love it, well, you know, you had to wait another 4 years. I definitely like the whole 1 a year thing. You know, hey, what's going on, Lilo? You want to be on camera? Say hello. Hello. And we have The Black Cauldron, The Great Mouse Detective. This is where you start seeing production ramp up. Oliver and Company, The Rescuers, The Little Mermaid, Rescuers Down Under, Beauty and the Beast. By the way, I love The Rose. I love Sebastian the Crab. And we have Aladdin. Now, this is interesting because The Nightmare Before Christmas is included. And one thing that's interesting about that is that was originally planned to be one of the big Disney feature animations. It was actually going to be one of the animated classics, and the executive said, oh no, it's too scary and things like that. And so it was released under Touchstone. I like that it has the Touchstone Pictures poster, but now it's part of the Disney collection. By the way, this is one that I'll probably have outside of the set because I have it in 3D and 4K, and this is just a standard Blu-ray. I'll discuss a little bit more near the end which of the Blu-rays you could probably get rid of and which ones you should probably keep. You have The Lion King. I don't know why they picked Pumbaa as the disc symbol when they could have done, like, you know, the Simba portrait that Rafiki does or something like that. You have A Goofy Movie, not part of the main Disney feature animation lineup, but a really good movie nonetheless. And Pocahontas, which has become one of their more controversial titles. Then we start the Pixar era with Toy Story. And now we have James the Giant Peach. I'm kind of glad that they included movies like that. Then you have Hunchback of Notre Dame, and then Hercules. And then we have 2 movies here, Mulan and A Bug's Life. Then we turn to the last one, and they actually tell you where, like on the cover, what movie represents what They have the inside cover. Is there an inside cover there? Oh, the inside cover here, like, okay, and the back cover. Yeah, all that is super, super nice. All right, it's time for volume 2. This one covers 99 through 2015. And, you know, I didn't really look too closely, but let's see here. We have Eve, Baymax, Frozen, Inside Out. I don't know what that hook is exactly. The Good Dinosaur. So, yep, there are some good ones here. This is going to go to 2015, so quite a few. Now, another quote by Walt. That's Turk from Tarzan. I think that's The Emperor's New Groove. And Lilo and Stitch, maybe, for that one. Oh, my pets just looked at me because our pets are named Lilo and Stitch. And I also forgot to mention that they have on the side the pages where you can find these movies. This is a very, very nice set. So let's go here, and we have Tarzan, Toy Story 2, Fantasia 2000. Then the Tigger movie, which because it went to theaters is kind of automatically a default. Oh, look, we have a guest star, Stitch. Stitch, are you going to help me with the unboxing? You going to help me with the unboxing, buddy? And he's kind of like, no, not that interested. Yes, the Tigger movie was a theatrically released film. Has a great song by Kenny Loggins and the late Sherman Brothers. So, I mean, better than direct-to-video. Now, interestingly, Dinosaur's included because Dinosaur is now retroactively put as a Disney animated feature classic. However, the movie was originally sold as a live-action film, and they were highlighting how realistic it looked. And then when it didn't really do what they thought it was, and it aged pretty quickly, they were like, well, let's just call it one of the animated movies. No one's going to know the difference. So this is technically Disney's first fully CGI film. It wasn't Chicken Little, but it also has live action elements in there as well. So, you know. Then we have The Emperor's New Groove. And by the way, you can kind of see why people weren't so excited to see this movie at first. This is, I don't know if I should have mentioned this or not. This is all the theatrical posters that were used for these movies. That's how they decided to advertise The Emperor's New Groove. Like, what does that tell you about the movie? It doesn't tell you anything about the movie. But it's great, and people now know that it's great. Then we have Atlantis, The Lost Empire. By the way, I love images like that just teased at what the movie was about, but did so in a very foreboding way. So you have Atlantis there. You have Monsters, Inc., Return to Neverland. This one did go to theaters as well. Then you have Lilo and Stitch. By the way, this was a very clever campaign. Let me pull this a little closer so you can see. A lot of the various Disney characters are on that poster, and it was just great. I mean, that was a great way to have fun with Disney's success while advertising something new in the process. And we have Treasure Planet. I'm one of the few people who saw Treasure Planet in IMAX. That was great. And The Jungle Book 2, which I have not seen. I was kind of getting tired of the Disney sequels at that point. I just decided to skip that one altogether. Piglet's Big Movie. And by the way, I should mention, Piglet's Big Movie is the only exclusive title to this set. This is the only way you can get this movie on Blu-ray, is if you buy this set. Is that worth your money? The $1,500, which, again, I did not pay out. I need to stress that. But if you go on eBay and you pay $1,500 or even more as this set continues to become rare, this is the only exclusive Blu-ray you're getting, is Piglet's Big Movie. Not sure if that's enough of a reason to get this, but it's part of it, and it's part of this set because Piglet's Big Movie went to theaters. And you have Finding Nemo, Brother Bear, and Home on the Range, their last 2D animated film for several years, The Incredibles, or is it Pooh's Hemphalump Movie? Actually, I take it back. It's Pooh's Hemphalump Movie that is exclusive to this. Now that I remember, Piglet's Big Movie you could get at Disney Movie Club. Pooh's Hemphalump Movie is exclusive to this set. You're going to have to decide if that's worth the money. Now, we have Chicken Little. And by the way, you might notice Chicken Little is wearing 3D glasses because this was their first Real D 3D release. And they would do this for many years movies afterwards. And Disney movies in 3D just look excellent in 3D. Unless it's up-converted like The Lion King and Beauty and the Beast was. But like that looked great in 3D. So did Meet the Robinsons. I don't like Chicken Little very much. We have Cars. Meet the Robinsons, I appreciate more over time. We have Ratatouille, WALL-E, and then Tinkerbell, which I don't know. I think that one did go to theaters for a very limited amount of time to qualify for Oscars. By the way, if you want to know like why Pixar was Disney's savior for a while, you just kind of have to look at these two pages like Piglet's movie, Brother Bear, On the Range, the Hemphalump movie, and what's Pixar? Chicken Little. What's Disney? That's what Disney's doing. What's Pixar doing? Finding Nemo, Incredibles, and okay, maybe not Cars, but Ratatouille and WALL-E. You could see why they decided to buy Pixar, like they really needed their help. And then you have Bolt and Up, and then the return to animation, The Prince and the Frog. Now, what's interesting is some of these posters I see are advertising the 3D elements. Some of these movies are available on 3D Blu-ray. They are, but they're not included here. I think you can watch them in 3D if you have an Apple Vision Pro right now. Here's hoping another 3D TV comes along to take advantage of that. We have Toy Story 3, Tangled, and Cars 2. And by the way, I can tell you right now, like, with maybe the exception of Princess and the Frog, you'll want to hold on to your Blu-ray 3Ds and 4Ks of all of these. And I think this is on 4K, so these pages aren't replacing anything. And you have Winnie the Pooh to date their last 2D animated feature. And by the way, if you want to see an interview that I did with the director of Winnie the Pooh, Meet the Robinsons, I'll put the link in the title card so you can see. That's a very interesting conversation. We have Brave and we have Frankenweenie. And I think about, like, why did Brave win and Frankenweenie didn't? I mean, you could have given Tim Burton an Oscar then, but oh well. We have Wreck-It Ralph, Monsters University, Planes, which was released in theaters, despite what you might be thinking right now. Frozen, Planes, Fire and Rescue, which I did not see, Big Hero 6, Inside Out, and The Good Dinosaur. Yet another little guide to what images mean what. Okay, what was 22? It was Return to Neverland, so it was Captain Hook, but I forgot about Return to Neverland. So, all right, and that's volume 2. Before we go back to my final thoughts on this whole set, volume 3, which is 2016 to 2023. Let's see here, we have Forky, we have, I think that's Frozen 2, Finding Dory, Zootopia, oh, here's the Wi-Fi, so Ralph Breaks the Internet, Soul, I recognize those glasses, but I can't think of what it is. Strange World, Raya and the Last Dragon. I got what that one was. I think that's Encanto and Lightyear. Let's see how many I did right. Another quote from Walt Disney. Oh, socks from Lightyear as well. And there's Soul. Now, here's something interesting. On this side, it's actually advertising some bonus content. And as you'll notice, they're all for Pixar films. That's probably because the bonus content was so important to Pixar, they decided to port all those extras over. And again, we're going to talk about the bonus features at the end of this video, but needless to say, unless you really want your 3D and 4K discs of these Pixar movies, if you just have the Blu-rays, you can probably get rid of those. So let's turn the page, and yep, we start with Zootopia and Finding Dory and Moana. We have Cars 3, which I actually like, and Coco, and The Incredibles 2, which, oh, Incredibles 2, that's what it was. I actually kind of like Incredibles 2 less and less the more I think about it. Ralph Breaks the Internet, which, despite me giving a positive review to, I do not believe that was a good movie. I explain why in another video. We have Toy Story 4, Frozen 2, and then we enter the COVID era, Onward, which did get into theaters for a very brief limited time, but then we got a bunch of Disney Plus releases. Soul, Raya and the Last Dragon, which me and my wife did go to Los Angeles in order to, not Los Angeles, Las Vegas, to see a few movies, and that was one of them. Thankfully, we saw it in IMAX 3D. We have Luca and Encanto and Turning Red. Then we return to theaters with Lightyear and Strange World. These are very poor returns to theaters. And then we have Elemental. Now, one thing that I wish they kind of did, I wish they had kept a space open for Wish, so I could put the Blu-ray of Wish, but then I got the Steelbook and the 4K, so I don't know if I would have gotten rid of it anyway. And here we have bonus discs for all the incredible Pixar movies. It's interesting, like they all have their own. Do they have their own little character on these discs? Oops. No, I guess they don't. They just say bonus disc. But these are all the wonderful special features that Pixar made for their movies. They highlight that these are special features with the storyboards. I love it. And then at the end, we have something else. We have this little hidden surprise. So in here are a few things. Now, the first thing is we have digital codes, and you can see they seal them. Now, I am not going to show you these, but here's a little spoiler. If you've made it this far, first of all, thank you for watching this to the extent. Let me know how I'm doing in the comment section below, and give the like up and subscribe. But I'm going to be giving out some of these digital codes within the next couple weeks, so you actually might want to keep coming back to this video and seeing when I drop the codes. I'm not going to keep all of them. I already have some of them digitally, and I like how they're sealed. Like, it's like such an event. Like this. See, this is the kind of premium product Disney is known for. And then we have a certificate of authenticity. What it says is, the Disney Legacy Animated Film Collection is one of a limited quantity and has been specially created for fans to celebrate the extraordinary history of Disney storytelling. The 100 films in this one-of-a-kind collection, featuring original theatrical poster artwork, have been curated by Walt Disney Studios Home Entertainment in partnership with Walt Disney Studios Archives, Walt Disney Animation Studios, and Pixar Animation Studios. The limited edition collection contains 100 Disney and Pixar animated films on Blu-ray disc with digital codes, 18 Blu-ray discs with bonus features from Pixar, collectible crystal Mickey ears with hat and exclusive Disney 100 engraving, collectible lithograph from Disney's Wish, a film that celebrates a century of storytelling from Walt Disney Animation Studios. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. The certificate, I gotta read that. This certifies that all information and statements contained herein are true and correct, and I got number 158 of 1,100. A low number, not bad. We have the Wish lithograph. There was no reason for me to take this out of the packaging. I'm going to leave it in there. We're going to put this back, including the digital code, because I'm going to be, redeeming those things tonight or tomorrow. Then we have the cover legend. Apparently the Hunchback of Notre Dame is here, but I don't know why when the movie is not in this set. So, the bell tower, and I guess that wasn't Emperor's New Groove, it was part of the bell tower. So there's all of the sets. All right, folks, let's go back into the room and let's talk about this set in more detail. And there you have the contents of what is inside this box. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to put this down because it's really heavy. All right, so that's all cool. Really nice packaging. Universally designed discs, all have the year, all have a little symbol to help you see which disc it was if you don't want to read the title. All that's really cool. But now, what about the content on the discs? What exactly is on them? Well, here's the thing. You'll be happy to know that I popped in every single disc that came with this thing. My PS5 got quite the workout, if you will. And I can confirm that most of these discs are reproduction prints of discs that have been previously released. You'll be able to tell that these are the discs because they will start with one of the old Disney Blu-ray logos, or will start with that warning that it might take 2 to 3 minutes to load, one of those types of things. So that's not terrible in my opinion. Most of these Disney Blu-rays were really good looking to begin with, and they had great picture and sound quality, and so you don't need to make new discs. You just take the ones you have, slap the new custom label on it, and you're good to go. Other discs are custom made for this, and you can tell which ones those are because they start with the new Disney logo, and then they will ask you what language you want to watch the disc in, and then you will start the disc almost instantly. Unfortunately, these custom made discs typically don't have any special features of any kind, and so I do want to highlight some notable missing features from these discs. Now, the first thing that you should know is if you have any disc that says Diamond Edition or Platinum Edition, with the exception of the Lady in the Tramp one, keep those sets. There are going to be special features that are missing from the sets, And so if you like your special features and you have something that says Diamond Edition on it or Platinum Edition, don't get rid of them. You're going to be missing some special feature. It should also be noted that if you have any of these Blu-ray discs that advertise being double features or having multiple movies, you will also want to keep those because no direct-to-video sequel appears on this set. Even those Winnie the Pooh and the Tinkerbell movie that is in the set that you saw, those did go theatrical at least for a limited period of time. So there is no Fox and the Hound 2, there's no Hunchback of Notre Dame 2, no Pocahontas 2, there is no Kronk's New Groove. Now, I would argue these are not worth keeping and they are not worth your time. And I'm kind of glad that Disney didn't even give them away as a bonus feature. You have this prestige set and it's like those direct-to-video sequels just would taint the whole thing, I believe. So they kept them off, but when they kept them off, they usually did so by pressing new discs, and as a result, movies like Hunchback of Notre Dame and The Fox and the Hound lose many of the special features that they had on the Blu-rays, which means you kind of got to keep those old discs even if you don't want the sequels anyway. The most interesting one is Pocahontas, where they kept most of the special features, but they made a new disc with those old special features, but they did exclude the direct-to-video sequel. So it's interesting that they went to that level of work to exclude the Pocahontas sequel, but they want to keep the special features, probably because of the If I Never Knew You sequence. I mean, that song has definitely become quite the topic over the years. It never should have been cut. And now that people have seen it back in the film, if you were to release that movie without the option to watch that sequence, then it would definitely be missing something. So maybe that's why they took extra care on that one. It's very interesting. Now, some notable special features that are missing from these is like you do not get the Reluctant Dragon short on Blu-ray. That was on the Fun and Fancy free Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad Blu-ray. The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad do retain some of the special features, but the Reluctant Dragon is not one of them. I don't know why. Also, the Nightmare Before Christmas Blu-ray that is included does not include the Vincent short film by Tim Burton. That is a huge loss. So if you have the Nightmare Before Christmas Blu-ray with the Vincent short, I would definitely keep that one. And by the way, if you have the Diamond Edition of Beauty and the Beast, you especially want to keep that one because Beauty and the Beast got hosed in this set. You do not get the Work in Progress edition. Many of the special features are not there. This is one of the greatest movies ever made. These are some of the best special features of a movie ever made. And so that one, if you can only keep one of your current Disney Blu-ray sets after buying this one, because you have to now make shelf space, keep the Beauty and the Beast one, because that one is the one that got hurt the most by this set. It should also be noted that while some of the shorts from the old Blu-rays are on here, none of the Disney or Pixar short discs are included in this set. That is a little disappointing, but understandable. This is more about the features. It's not about the shorts so much, but if you have those short film Blu-ray discs, you will definitely want to keep those. Now, a bit of good news, if you have Pixar Blu-rays, you can pretty much get rid of all of them, because for some reason, Disney did include all of the bonus features for the Pixar Blu-rays. Now, maybe that's because Pixar spent a lot of time and money on those special features. Pixar Blu-rays were considered one of the high standards back in the day when other studios were making special features for their discs. Pixar and Lord of the Rings set the bar high for how good special features could be for discs, so it would make sense that Disney would want to preserve them. I don't know why they didn't also include some of the bonus feature discs for the Disney feature animation catalog. That seems really strange to me. I would think that they would want to keep many of the special features from Snow White and Pinocchio and Beauty and the Beast and include it in the set, but they don't, so that's unfortunate. But if you are a Pixar fan, unless you have a copy of the movie with a special case, a 3D disc, or a 4K disc, you can essentially get rid of all those Pixar discs everything is on this set. But that's just special features. What about the films themselves? Well, that leads us into chapter 4 of this video, and that is that for the most part, these movies are the definitive versions of the movies, although we do have to talk a little bit about censorship now. As mentioned earlier, these are reprints of many Blu-rays of previous days, which that might sound disappointing that new masters weren't made, but keep in mind the Disney films have always had some of the best transfers out there. Some would even argue that the restorations for some of these movies are so good it actually negates what the film looked like they almost did it too good that it doesn't look the way it's supposed to anymore. Those discs all being on there, that's perfectly fine. Those transfers, perfectly legit. But what about the censored 3? And when I talk about the censored 3, these are the 3 Disney movies that have been dogged by censorship for decades at this point, where it's really been like a fight to get them to be seen the original version. Now, these movies include Saludos Amigos, Make Mine Music, and Melody Time. All 3 of these movies have been censored on VHS and DVD and Blu-ray releases in the past. So the question is, are they uncensored? Did Disney actually fix this issue for the sets? And I've got some good news, some annoying news, and some really bad news. Now, let's start with the good news. Melody Time is completely restored. It's uncut. So Pecos Bill is smoking again. The tornado sequence isn't cut at all for time. And this seems to be for the digital and the physical part of the disc. So that is the good news. Now, the sort of good news is Saludos Amigos is also uncensored if you're watching this movie on the disc. There was a brief scene where Goofy was smoking that had been previously removed from Blu-rays and DVDs. On this Blu-ray, Goofy is puffing up a smoke. However, if you watch this with the digital copy that it comes with, they have censored it and Goofy is not smoking. I consider that an okay compromise, as long as the uncut version is on the disc. The digital version can be a little altered in this case because I won't be watching it digitally anyway, although I prefer it not be censored at all. And then you have the really bad news, which is that Make Mine Music still has the Hatfields and the McCoy sequence completely removed from the Blu-ray disc and the digital copy. And this by far is the most annoying, because this isn't just like a little snippet of a cut. This is not like a 2-second frames have been removed. This is not like one cigar was digitally removed, which is annoying but can be dealt with. This is a whole sequence that was removed. And the reason it was removed was because of the loads of gun violence, the sexual undertones, and the whole life and death thing, because, you know, even in a very satirical setting, apparently that's just not good for families. Now, I'm going to say that from Disney's perspective, I could understand why, when they released this on VHS and DVD back in the day, they might have felt the need to cut this scene. This is not a short that necessarily lent itself to family viewing after so many years. It could be more appreciated by teens and adults, but I was nonetheless unhappy about it and felt that the uncut version should exist with that scene intact. And release after release had come by and it had never been restored. Now, here we have a set that's $1,500, although again, I didn't pay that. Thank you to my friend out there. And this is not being sold to little Jimmy or little Susie. Like, my nieces and nephews, their parents are not going to get this set for them. They don't buy a lot of movies because they come over to my place to watch them, like the little mooches they are, I suppose. But they're not the target audience. Big time adult Disney collectors or Disney adults like me, we're the ones that these sets are made for. We're the ones who are going to shell out $1,500, even though, again, I didn't. Thank you, friend. We're the ones who are going to be buying this, and we want the movies to be complete. I mean, even the Toy Story couch gag still exists on this set, which is the only thing Pixar ever censored, I believe. Unfortunately, the Make Mine music, it's still censored. The Hatfields and the McCoy sequence is still not there. And you know what? That is simply not okay. This is a premium product. It should be complete. In fact, this is such a serious issue that I fully believe, I don't think they'll do it, but anyone who bought this set should write to Disney and demand a replacement disc for Make Mine music. You know what? It's time. This is for the adult fan. We paid $1,500. We do not want an incomplete product. And with that sequence missing, that movie is not complete. Therefore, this is not a complete set of the Disney feature film library. And look, some of you might be saying, hey, it's just one cartoon, and you can probably find it online, but that's not the point. The point is you're paying for a premium product. It's costing an arm and a leg, even when you average it out, it's not that bad, but it should be complete. Because here's the thing, I would not have paid for Make My Music to be censored. That's why I've never owned Make My Music on disc. I do now, and it's still not the version I want. And for $1,500, that should not be the case. So, you know, if anyone from Disney is watching this, this is a limited edition set. I don't think they're making more than 30,000 of these or something like that. You can correct me in the comments if I got that number wrong. For that one disc, issue a recall that says, hey, you know what? We realize that we charge for a premium product and we did not deliver on one of these movies. So send the disc here and we will give you a copy of the disc with Hatfield and McCoy's restored, and you will have that movie complete. And I can guarantee you no parent is going to send that in, get the disc, and say, what the heck is this? Parents did not buy this set for their kids. Disney adults bought it for themselves, and I think it is almost criminal that they are charging the kind of money that they're doing, claiming that this is the definitive version, and it's still cut. Oh, and by the way, yeah, the Fantasia scenes are still altered too. So, I mean, I definitely feel none of this should be censored at all, but especially the Make Mine music. This should have been the set where everything was restored, warts and all. They already had the warning label on the back that these movies were a product of their time. The fact that they're still doing it even when they're charging $1,500 is totally ridiculous in my opinion. Hey everyone, I want to put a little update in here because I know people are going to be asking why I didn't make a bigger deal about the censorship in Fantasia, and I think it's a legit question. Yes, I do believe Fantasia should be uncut on this disc, and I would actually like to see Disney reissue that with the removed black centaurs as well. The reason I'm not making as big a deal about it is because Fantasia, just due to the nature of things, will never completely be uncut as it is. With the uncut video materials, they had lost the audio, so there's like impersonators dubbing over the narrator and things like that. The title cards had to be recreated, I believe. So it's just, Fantasia is ultimately just gonna forever be uncut as it is. And so if there's gonna be a few frames of animation that's gonna be altered, this is probably the one to do it. So just wanted to make that clear. And now we get to chapter 5 of the review, in which we ask, is this the future for Disney on physical media? Because here's the thing with this set. The Make Mine music and the slight censorship issues aside, this is by far one of the nicest Blu-ray sets I have ever purchased. It ranks up there with the 100 Years of Olympic Games from Criterion, and it is just, it's massive, it's beautiful, it's the kind of thing that you put on display proudly for the world to see. And Disney has come under fire for not utilizing physical media the way that they used to. Disney used to be aggressive on the DVD and Blu-ray marketplace. They are no longer. They were actually so aggressive and they were so good at releasing their vintage content that there was a series called Walt Disney Treasures that was released. And this was a series where they were 2-disc sets with the exception of the last wave, which was 6 discs. And they featured, all of the old vintage Disney stuff, all the Mickey cartoons, all the Goofy cartoons, the Donald, many Disneyland USA episodes. They had introductions by Leonard Maltin to put outdated cartoons into context. The shorts were all censored. And there has been a push by many people, myself included, to bring that series back. Now, personally, I do not feel that we need to bring Walt Disney Treasures back per se. That was just the name of a lineup. But I do want the shorts to come back. And I think a set like this shows the path forward to how they could do that. Because the Blu-ray market has shrunken significantly, instead of making these wide release products, what they can do is they could make, a massive set like this, do it like, for example, let's say this is a Mickey Mouse set. Instead of doing like 4 DVD sets of Mickey Mouse cartoons, do 1 set of all the Mickey Mouse cartoons. Make them in a fancy package like this. If you need to have new introductions, I'm sure Leonard Maltin would be glad to record new ones, or maybe Jerry Beck or John Canemaker, someone who knows this stuff very well. And I think that would be the next logical step for Disney to go with their vintage products. Like, make something like this, and yeah, it's gonna be pricey because the DVD market has changed, or the physical media market, I should say. It does not sell to average people quite as much. One of the reasons that you do not see the Disney shorts on Disney Plus is frankly because no one watches them. And yeah, that's a shame that no one watches them, but it doesn't change the fact that no one wants them. And yet, there are Disney adults who do want these shorts to be viewable, and we do know that they are restoring them in 4K and everything like that. I believe that a set like this for vintage shorts and Disneyland episodes would be a great thing moving forward for the Disney company to explore. However, I should state that they have to be given with extra care, because I don't know if it's going to cost $1,500. I wouldn't recommend you do that for, even Mickey cartoons. But if these sets were like $300 to $500 on 4K, I could see myself paying for that if it would be like a significant upgrade and I could get rid of the Walt Disney Treasure sets, nice as they look on my shelf. I'm always looking to declutter. And so if Disney were to go forward with that, and they were going to charge a hefty price like this set would cost, the shorts need to be restored in 4K, because one of the problems that I do have with the Walt Disney Treasures is that those shorts were not restored. Some of the cartoons look pretty crusty, in fact, because they knew they were going to be selling it to a limited audience, and so they didn't put any money into restoring the shorts. But if they're going to do that for Blu-ray and 4K, they need to make sure those shorts are restored. They need to be uncut. Nothing can be missing. You can't skip shorts just because they're politically incorrect these days. If you need to introduce them by a historian or something like that, do that. But no, you cannot skip anything, and nothing can be censored. And if you do that and put them in nice packaging like this, then I believe Disney will find a small but very profitable market from Disney adults like myself who do want to buy these sets, who want to collect these still in the best quality possible. And again, this isn't exactly definitive. For the record, during this whole thing, these were the discs that I found that I could not get rid of, whether because it had a 3D or 4K disc, or whether there was a direct-to-video sequel or a short that was missing. These I felt I had to keep. On the other hand, I was able to get rid of many of my discs, so these ones I found I could get rid of pretty easily. I don't need them anymore. That does free up shelf space, and I would definitely rather have this on the shelf than some of those. But going forward, if Disney is to make more sets like these, and they're going to charge the premium that they do, they need to make sure that these issues are no longer issues. Everything needs to be there. They need to be uncut. and they need to be in the best possible quality. And if someone at Disney, through the new Sony partnership, realizes this and maybe even gets them, like maybe Walmart could be a retailer exclusive again, I don't know, then I think this could be the start of a very amazing series on Blu-ray. And look, I know that $1,500 is not chump change. So I'm not going to say whether you should or should not buy this or not. That's totally up to you. But purchasing a set like this does send Disney that message that you will buy old stuff on physical media, and you will do so gladly if the product is good. But I still believe that Disney needs to fix the the Make Mine Music disc. Like, that should not have gotten out the way it is, and I think it's silly that it's still being censored in this day and age. But now we're going to come to the conclusion of all of this, and that conclusion is, are you going to buy this set? Do you want this set? If so, do you have it? How do you plan to get it? And if you don't have it, why do you not want it? There are no wrong answers in this one, and you can comment below and like, favorite, share. And by the way, there are digital codes that are being given away, that were given in here. Like, I redeemed a lot of them, but some of them I did not redeem because I already had them. So some of my favorite responses, I will be giving you a digital code for a mystery Disney movie. So make sure you tell me what your favorite Disney film is as well, so that if I decide to pick you in the comment section, I can give you the proper code so that you can, you know, download it. But anyway, I'd like to know, what do you think of this set? Hey, you made it to the end. Thank you so much for making it to the end. Just a few more things. First of all, the names that you see on the screen, these are our Patreon and YouTube member supporters, and I thank each and every one of them. Their support helps me make exclusive videos for Patreon and YouTube members, as well as keep the channel running, and of course is just of huge kindness to me. Also, don't forget to check out the iCritic-led podcast on Spotify, Apple, Google, Deezer, whatever podcasting service you listen to, it is there. We definitely want to see you there. And hey, there's also other videos that you can check out. So, you know, check out these other channels, these other videos, especially that one. I think that's a really good one.